Jimmy.
Act two. Let's pump our energy level up here. Here we go. You can be as wacky as you want on this one. Okay? All right. What do you like on set, Mel? I mean, are you a normal, peaceful guy, or are you mercurial in that one minute you're serious, and the next minute you're wild, or what?
Yeah, I like strawberry cheesecake and a beautiful girl wearing very little. I mean, I'm very easy to please. Very easy to please.
You're a pussycat.
Yeah. Meow. Oh, I thought we had one in the room.
Now, would everyone line up and say that Mel Brooks is just an easy guy to work with?
I am a monster. I am, to tell the truth, I hate to do this to you, but to tell the truth, I am a stickler for perfection. When I direct, everything must be absolutely perfect. Every line, every emotion, every look, every move, and I shoot for a long time till I get it. And I finally get it, and it's up there, and I'm very proud of it years later. So it's not an easy, happy, good luck, hail fellow, well met set. It's a hard-working set. We do love each other, though, and I usually go out to lunch with my actors. Very few directors do that. But I'm one of the actors. I'm also the producer. I have big fights with myself. When I ask for a raise, the producer in me says no, and the actor says I'm walking. Then the director says, wait, fellas, where you going? I got to direct a movie. I mean, then I send myself flowers, and I say, oh, they're beautiful, and I make up, and I kiss myself, and I go back to work.
And then if you've gotten some bad lines, you have to fight with yourself about that?
I fight with the writer, and the writer says, you may not change them. And I say, I'm the director. I will change them. And I say, no, yes. And then a doctor comes and packs me. He puts things through my ears into my brain, and I'm fine.
Now, you have a lovely co-star in this film, Leslie Ann Warren.
Yes.
Very talented, wonderful woman. Does Ann get a little shaky when you're out doing love scenes with this woman and dancing and doing lots of rehearsals and this kind of thing?
No. We've been married 27 years, so we more or less, understand each other, trust each other.
She lets you hug other women at work, in other words.
At work only. At work only. But the only way around that is to do 37 takes of a love scene. And then, by then you've had it, and it's fine.
You made one of the greatest movies, I think, of all time. It certainly ranks up there as my second favorite comedy. My first one being It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a special movie for me. But
yeah.
Blazing Saddles has got so many classic scenes. What role does that movie play in your life?
Well, I can immodestly tell you that I think it's, it's one of the funniest movies ever made. I mean, nervy. It's a nervy movie. A lot of nerve. The black and white jokes, the bean scene. I mean, shame on me. Sometimes I watch it and I say, who allowed that guy to do that? It's amazing. And a little of that in life scares me too. But if you're not bold and you're not brave and you're not crazy, I mean, be a baker, bake bread, slice it.
Those movies, Lifesteak and Blazing Saddles, have something in common in that you're dealing with racism subtly and not so subtly in Blazing Saddles, and you're dealing with a very serious issue, homeless, and you're not making fun of it, but I mean, I found myself touched, and I was probably more affected by this movie as looking at the homeless than I have been on these serious, news kind of things. I really felt something for those people down there.
Well, thank you for saying that, Jimmy. What we tried to do is do exactly that. We did not want to put the homeless center stage, so to speak. We put the comedy center stage. We put these arrogant billionaires, these idiots, center stage, and we put the homeless on the periphery, much like Altman did with MASH. He put the Korean War and all the horror of war on the side, and he centered on Elliot Gould and Donald Sutherland, and made for a pretty damn good movie.
When writing comedy, I know you did it for television. I mean, is every day a day that you can sit down and be funny, or you just have to, right when you get in the mood, you better start going?
Well, I really don't know how to write. I make M's like N's. I'm not sure whether a T is an I. Writing is hard, and what I do is I have a secretary, and I say it, and she writes it down. And it's great to have a secretary, because they're smart, and they know there are little words, there are big words, and they put it together. But I can't write fast enough. So I have a tape recorder, and there's a stream of consciousness, and it all goes into the tape recorder. Then I give it to the secretary, and she says, what is Poltern de Boom? Poltern de Boom. I said, I don't know what Poltern. She says, well, you said they all go into the Poltern de Boom and then make love. the alternative. And then it turns out to be a word somewhere in the back of my head. But I mean, you do need somebody to kind of translate you. It's important.
Do you like Mel the director better than Mel the actor, or Mel the actor better than the director, or who wins out?
To tell you the truth, you wear different hats at different times. Mel the writer at the beginning is the most important. In the end, he's the most important. He's the most supreme. Or you got it, or you ain't. Andreas Futsinas from the producers. He was the roommate of Christopher Hewitt. White, white, white is the color of our carpet. He's brilliant. He's Greek. He says, or you got it, or you ain't, and it's true. The writer has a concept. It's either a great concept or it's a miss. Life stinks. Great concept. Fish out of water. Billionaire living with the bumps and derelicts and the homeless for 30 days. Great concept. It's Darwinian. It's metamorphosis. It's Dickens. It's Charles Dickens. I mean, it's a great idea. Now, you take a year with very good writers and you write the heck out of it. You write it eloquently and exquisitely and beautifully. Once you've got that script, that's a raft. You can hang on to that raft in the worst storms and tornadoes and hurricanes. That raft will support you. But then when you're finished with the writing, you put on the director's hat and you are the supreme autocratic dictator boss. And never take no for an answer and go for everything on that screen. Everything has to be good that ends up on that screen. After that, you're the producer. You put on that hat. You go out. You talk to the studio. I want 1,000 theaters. I want a great ad. I want great TV ads. I want this marketed properly. I want Jimmy Carter to interview Mel Brooks. And here you are. I thought you'd be different. Look, I don't want to do peanut jokes.
Listen, Mel, you better behave yourself right now. I won't pardon you.
That's great. I mean, you were forced into doing that impression, of course.
I certainly was, but not very hard.
I love it. I love it.
You were great in this movie in physical comedy. You gave some of the great faces. I mean, you must have inherited that from Sid Caesar or somewhere in there, because he gives those great. Yeah. I mean, there was one you were going away in an ambulance.
Yes, I know.
And that insane. Yeah. I laugh now looking at it. It's great.
Harry Ritz. Remember the Ritz brothers, 20th Century Fox?
Oh, yes.
They were all the Sonia Henney movies. Mm-hmm. They were on the ice. They used to fall down a lot. They couldn't skate. The Ritz brothers, very funny. They came from Brooklyn, from my neighborhood of Williamsburg. The Ritz brothers they could dance, they could sing, and they were genuinely funny. And Harry Ritz was the guy in the middle who made the eyes and did, I made all the faces. And he's the father of Jerry Lewis and Sid Caesar and myself and many great muggers, guys who know how to use their face for comedy, which is hard to do, because there are a lot of guys around today, and they're very good actors, but they can't mug. They can't.
See, the mustache keeps me from mugging much.
Yeah.
I can do things to my face, but the mustache always keeps it down, and I think it helps if you don't have one.
But if you put sour cream on the mustache,
oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that would blend into your face and take away the hair, and you'd be fine. Then you could lick it off. You could even eat it if you were in trouble. You guys don't make a lot of money. A little sour cream could help out.
Thank you very much, Mel. I appreciate your interview, and life does stink.
Jimmy,
particularly if you're an ex-president, it stinks a lot.
This is the best interview I've ever done in my life. I swear.
Thank you very much. It's the best interviewee I've ever had in front of me.
No, I say this to everybody, but I want you to know you're very special. But I always say that to everybody,
but you're
too.
very special. Well,
yeah, I love you.
Thank you.
Thank
I love
you.
you too.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That was a great one.